Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you to all of the witnesses here today. My questions will be directed initially to Dr. Tyner. We've heard today that 1.9 billion barrels of equivalent fuel has been produced over the last 10 years with these biofuels, cellulosic or losic, whatever it might be. When we look at the annual consumption of fuel and barrel production, we consume about 7 billion barrels a year. So in other words, 1.9 billion, while that sounds like an extraordinarily large number, is actually 13 weeks over a decade. So that will be kind of the frame up. After a decade, we've produced 13 weeks of fuel. My question, sir, is can you make plastic out of corn?
I'm not a plastic corn scientist, but I have read that it can be done, yes.
Okay. Can you make asphalt out of corn?
I do not know.
Can you make rubber out of corn?
I do not know.
Can you make frames for computer chips out of corn?
I do not know.
Okay. How much ethanol-based fuel is used for jet fuel?
None.
Oh, I see. Did you know that there's 25% less BTUs in ethanol as opposed to petroleum-based fuel?
It's actually 33, sir.
Okay, I'll take your word on that. But do you also acknowledge that there's a higher smog effect also on the production of ethanol?
My understanding of the analyses that have been done on that is that it depends on the study that was done and time of year it was done. So it's still uncertain, I think.
Well, it wasn't uncertain in the 1995 Third Circuit Court of Appeals in the ATI versus the EPA. It might be worth noting that. Did you know that it takes 50 acres of corn for a gallon of ethanol to be produced?
It's not true.
It's not true. Oh, I see. Or 75 gallons of water per gallon of ethanol?
I don't know the water metric.
So I guess, for all of that and all of our lifestyle that we enjoy as Americans, and the not taking into account the farm implements, the labor, the water, the use of food supply, the impact on our defense, the fact that we wouldn't have water bottles, cell phones, computers, computer chips, synthetic clothing, roads. I mean, I can go on. We can look around this room and identify practically everything that has some basis to our quality of life. Are you still of the firm belief that we need to eliminate petroleum with biofuel?
I never said that we should eliminate petroleum with biofuel, and in fact, it's impossible to eliminate petroleum with biofuel.
So now it gets back to one of efficiency and what's best for the environment. Do you think consuming the world's food supply and putting it in the gas tank is good for human beings?
I think that we have an obligation to our children and our grandchildren to reduce greenhouse gases.
We have an obligation to feed them as well.
And we're doing a good job of it.
Yeah.
The United States has the most productive agricultural system in the world. American consumers eat for less than 10% of their disposable income, the lowest in the world. We're doing a very effective job of producing both food and fuel.
And wouldn't it be great if we could send those corn sacks, gift from the United States of America, maybe to people who aren't as productive as we are? Now, you made a bold statement at the beginning of your testimony where you said that all of these biofuels have reduced imports on petroleum. I mean, what basis do you mount that on? 13 weeks of production?
I didn't say how large the increase was, sir. I said that there was a reduction in imports.
So shale energy revolution had nothing to do with the reduction in imports.
We've studied shale oil and gas, and we've estimated the economic benefit for the country, and it is huge.
It is a huge impact to have shale oil revolution, and it also bolstered our economy. I would suggest to you, sir, that the American way of life, the material good that we do to the entire world, the ability to fight disease, the ability to make pharmaceuticals from petroleum, there are so many good things And I just, Mr. Chairman, appreciate us having this committee hearing today. I think we need to take a realistic look at all of the good that we provide the world, and we're not doing a bad job with the oil and gas industry. And with that, I yield back.